Yeah, we're so glad you're here. Oh, we're so glad to be together in unity. All right, unmasking the true self. The true self. There's a being that lives in here that is your true self. You know, a lot of people want to be normal. I don't want to be normal. I want to be natural. I want to be my true, natural self. Does that make sense? Because what is normal? Everybody has a different definition of normal, right?
It's a setting on the washing machine.
There you go.
There is no normal.
Yeah. There just is you, and there's me, and there's us, and we are who we are. Isn't that great? Now, that doesn't mean that you're not evolving and growing and changing on a regular basis. That's very important, right? How many are up for that? I think most of you are, or you wouldn't be here, because that's what we're all about, is that. So we are not the mask that we wear. We are not the mask that we wear. So who are you, James? Well, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a minister, I'm a friend. I wear many masks, play many roles. But that's not really who I am. Those are just aspects. Those are just parts of me that my divine self, because how many understand that that's who you really are? Your divine self that shines through those masks, that shines through those roles. You ever watch a good actor and you say, wow, that person, I just believe when they act that they do so well. And it doesn't matter the role or the part. There's an energy that shines through, that comes through it. Isn't that great? Yeah. And that's the way it is with you. You and I are acting. We're all actors on the stage of life. You're acting right now. You're pretending to be a human being.
I thought you were going to say you're pretending to be interested.
Okay, so you're saying I'm not interesting now.
No, I just thought that's
Wow.
where you were going.
You guys know to pray for me, right?
Yeah, we're all we get into the habit of putting these masks on too when we're in different scenarios, right? So when I go to work, there's definitely a mask or a persona that I wear at work that is perhaps different than the one I have on when I'm in here, right? We all have these masks that we put on and off according to how the population around us is, who we're with.
Because, you know, you need to show up differently for different occasions, right? Sometimes you need to show up and be brave and bold and speak your truth and do what you need to do, say what you need to say, act in the way that you're supposed to act. And then there are times when you're here to be gentle and to be kind and gracious, right? There are different modalities and ways of being. And if you can learn to come from your true self, do you know that most people do not speak from their true voice? They speak from the head rather than from their body. And so it sounds a little bit like this sometimes. You know, you're speaking from your head. And you know, instead of speaking from your body, speaking from the depth of you, allowing what's inside of you to come out, right? So let's say together, we are not our masks.
We are not our masks.
We are the divine self.
We are the divine
Now take a breath of that. Feels pretty good.
And let's further express, I am authentic.
I am authentic.
I am whole.
I am whole.
I am safe to shine my true face.
I am safe to shine my true face.
Yes, because we are the light of the world.
Yeah.
And if we're always hiding behind a mask and we don't let that light come through, then how do we affect our world in a positive way? We have to let the light shine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how many of you have ever been to a masquerade party? Anybody ever been to a masquerade party?
Sure.
Or how about just a Halloween party where people were in costume and you really didn't know, who is that? I don't know who that is. They're so hidden underneath this persona. Maybe it's the vampire or the witch or whomever. But with the masquerade parties, they have just the masks, and you don't know who's behind there. We don't recognize each other until someone at some point in the party finally removes the mask, and we go, oh, that's Joe. That's who that is. And in removing that mask, that's a great metaphor of reminding us all that we're seen when we take those masks off and we reveal who we really are. We're seen for who we really are. So when we remove those masks of identity that we try to portray ourselves as being, and we just let our authentic self come through, then people can go, oh, that's the Christ. Oh, that's James expressing as the Christ.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, wanted to make sure I validated you at some point this morning, right?
There was one Halloween where folks really went all out and they dressed up. And we had someone who came in as a ghost, okay? And they sat right there in the center, and they had on a sheet, with the big eyes, and they never told us who they were. And they would sit there in the middle of the seat, and they would, every once in a while, would stand up and go, ooh, and then sit back down. And to this day, I still don't know who it was, because they flew out the door. For all I know, it was a ghost. Are you here today?
It's the person who did that
here today.
Are
you here today? Are you ready to reveal that was you? But that's pretty cool. But we are the being on the inside. Oscar Wilde said, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Good.
The number one thing that people want today, authenticity. People are so tired of seeing other individuals say one thing, act one way, and then find out that that's not who they really are. People are hungry for authenticity. That's the number one thing that draws us to other people, is when they're really just real and authentic. It's a powerful thing.
It is, because when you find somebody who is being their true self, your mask starts to come off. Mm-hmm. You can be yourself, because it gives you permission to be at peace and to be okay with them. Isn't that true?
And some of the masks that we wear, like I, for a long time, because of my upbringing, wore a mask of perfectionism. Everything had to be done to my standard of what was correct, and it had to be done in the way that I thought it had to be done. And if I didn't accomplish it the way that I thought it was supposed to be, boy, was I hard on myself. You know what? Wearing masks of perfectionism and people-pleasing or masks of being insecure all the time, did you know that those are extremely fatiguing?
Exhausting.
It absolutely exhausts you to wear such masks, because you're constantly living from an energy and an appearance, a persona of something that you aren't truly, that you really truly are not. You are light and love and wisdom and peace and all these wonderful Christ attributes, and yet when you're wearing that mask of perfectionism, it's just a setup.
Yeah.
It's a setup, because I, in this physical form can never do anything perfectly. Therefore, I'm just setting myself up to harm myself psychologically when I start beating up on myself, right? So it's a very powerful thing to learn to let these masks go and live from the authenticity.
Well, you have to feel safe.
You do.
You have to feel safe. And so that's why it's important to pray, to affirmatively pray and tell yourself and tell the universe, I am safe to be my true, authentic self. That's a prayer. I am safe to be my true, authentic self. What does that mean? I'm safe to express who I am, right? It's amazing, though, how layered we are and how we have so many shields around ourselves, that keep us from allowing our heart to open, to express myself to express naturally, right? To be a natural expression. Our cats, they are their natural expression. They just are. A dog naturally expresses. You may not like everything they do, but they're being their true natural self. And you know what? It's no big deal, right? It's no big deal because you're used to it. You're used to them being their true self. Now, it doesn't mean being your authentic self that you go around telling everybody everything in your mind. I mean, no, there are some things in your mind that are just for you. Can you believe what she's wearing?
Some things in my mind I don't even want, right? They just come through.
I shook hands with that guy and had such bad breath. Smelled like garlic. Oh, I'll never go back there.
The perfect example of this. How many has ever seen the movie Runaway Bride?
Oh.
Okay. Do you remember how with every relationship she had, she changed the type of eggs that she ate? With this guy, it was scrambled eggs. With this guy, it was fried eggs. With this guy, it was boiled eggs. And she come to find out after she got out of relationships altogether that she didn't like eggs at all, right? But think about back, to your dating days, or maybe you're currently in your dating days. And when you go out on that first date, you're just so proper. And everything is just so, the conversation is, kind of guarded, And that goes on until you finally declare your love for each other and you find out you're going to get married. And then you loosen up maybe a little bit. And then you walk down the aisle and you get married. And all of a sudden, 2 years into a marriage, all of that has fallen away. Now you're being your authentic self. They're with you all the time, and they're going, who in the heck did I marry?
Who are you?
Who are you? Because we put on this, it's almost like putting on a show. It's like putting on this identity or this thing that we're not. And that's the way it is in our life. If we keep these masks on and we keep playing out this thing that we're not, then at some point everybody starts to find out. At some point authenticity breaks through a lot of times in ways that aren't the most helpful. Right? Yeah. Because we can only take so much before our little safety valves. Any of you ever been around a pressure cooker? Right? And the pressure builds, and finally, that valve pops to let out the pressure, to let out the steam, and that's what happens to us. We stuff, we be who you want to be, we do the little dance, we do the little song, and through all of that, we're stuffing, and then at some point, that valve pops, and we wind up letting stuff out in a very unhealthy way. Yeah. Where if we could just be a little more authentic and be ourselves instead, we wouldn't wind up pushing away and pushing down so much of that stuff. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
So here's a truth statement. I shine with honesty, vulnerability, and joy, the truest costume of all. How many know that it's okay to be vulnerable?
Ooh, and that requires safety too.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're hoping that your partner doesn't say anything to embarrass you or, you know. Oh, wait, I wasn't talking about you. I'm speaking in general terms today.
That other married couple.
Yeah, that other married couple, that we saw the other day
That's right.
in the mirror.
Yeah.
But I shine with honesty. Honesty, when people are honest, they're shining. You just decide to be honest about things. If you've got something going on between you and somebody else, you need to talk about it, get it out, and say, listen, I've got this feeling, I got this thing, but for some reason, there's something about you that I need to talk to you about. Would that be okay with you? Can I talk to you? And then you talk it over, right? And you just share.
Well, what is it you want to say?
Well, no, I think we've done all that that we need to do for today.
There is, people will talk about, well, let me be brutally honest.
Yeah, not so much. How many love people being brutally honest with you?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Let's be lovingly honest. And also when we're talking to people about repairing something that's happened, it's always about me. I'm feeling this way. This is how I took what happened. This is how it made me feel. This was my experience. It's not, you did this and you did that and you. It's my experience in this. This is what I felt. We always bring it back to myself. You get that one for free this morning.
Very good.
So, let's talk about our little Halloween character this week. The last couple weeks we talked about the werewolf and the zombie of, was it discouragement. And then last week was the werewolf of, no, it was the zombie that eats your brains.
Yeah, right.
Because you're not thinking right. So this week we have the werewolf of anger. So when we hide, this is just what I was talking about, when we hide feelings for too long, they can burst out unexpectedly like a werewolf at midnight. Ow! That's the safety valve popping, right, and going off. So instead of fearing anger, befriend it. Anger simply says something needs to change. Something needs to change. Use the energy of anger constructively. Clean your house, right? Drum, paint. Journal, pray.
Talk it out.
Use it constructively, because some of the times that my house has been the cleanest is when I've been angry, right? Because there's just this, I'm going to get it done, and I don't take that, right? So use it constructively. Don't back away from it, because, again, if you wind up stuffing it and thinking, oh, anger's bad, it's not a bad emotion, right? It's just a feeling. It's what we do with it. So, but if I come from that place of this is bad and I need to stuff it and not deal with it, that's what will happen. Right?
We start howling at life.
And howling at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
not good.
Yeah. You waste a lot of energy.
You do.
Being these characters in our lives. And where did we learn that from? One time I was thinking about all the people in my life who had an effect on me as a young boy. And I realized that I had taken from each one a little bit of their persona onto myself. Because I remember the first time I went to a funeral, I didn't know how to act at a memorial service. you know? And so I'm sitting there as a child, not, you know, and I knew this person was gone, but where'd they go? You know, I didn't know. And so I remember, I thought back about this, and this fellow came up to me, he said, I sure do miss so-and-so. And he shook my hand and he just started crying, you know. So I thought, oh, maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. So it's, you know, and I realized that, yeah, it can be an emotional release. It is a way to grieve, right? And so we do pick up things from other people and we take them on ourselves. How many understand that some activity that you take on from another person, you don't have to keep it forever? You can change it. Isn't that great?
Yes.
Let's say it together. I can change it. If I want to. Right? Yeah. Absolutely. And it may take some time, because when you start to change something in your life, you got to stick to it. You got to keep focusing on it. And as you focus your laser-like attention upon it, it begins to change. And you keep telling yourself, this is who I am now. This is who I am now. And you stick with it. But somebody along the way taught us not to be diligent, not to be disciplined. How many? You don't raise your hand. But you know, we didn't learn that. We didn't pick up those kinds of skills from other people, right? Because that's how we learn a lot of times. And so after a while, you begin to design your life in a way that you want it to be. Isn't that great?
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful? Well, you don't seem very excited. Oh, that's nice, James. Yeah,
They're processing.
but it's true.
Maybe some of them are thinking about a mask that they wear.
Ah.
And if you're not, that would be a really good thing to do for a moment. Think about a mask that you wear. What is the mask that you put on that perhaps is not serving you as well as you think it has been, right? And maybe that mask was, you know, like mine, perfectionism or people-pleasing or anger. What is a mask that you're wearing that's no longer serving you? And can you envision yourself just taking that thing off and tossing it into a fire, letting it burn away, and then envisioning yourself in relationships with people in a positive way where you no longer have this mask interfering? Because that's really what it is. It's an interference. It's keeping you from real relationship.
Yeah. There's all kinds of masks.
Oh, yeah.
Always having to be right mask. You ever had that one?
No.
Because you're afraid of looking foolish.
Yeah.
Afraid of looking,
Yeah.
you know, less than.
Yeah.
There's so many different ones. And so these kinds of things, spirituality is being able to think through these things and to feel through these concepts and ideas and to go deep within yourself and look at these areas. And you ask Spirit, you know, say, well, I'm willing now to look at my blind sides. How many know that you have a blind side? I didn't know if you knew that. But that's because it's you're blind to it, right? You can't see it. And other people, they can see it. You know, it's Leah sees all my stuff, right? And I don't see her stuff. I've learned not to do that. But
They can be taught. I think it's important for us to remind you, too, that when we're talking about, you know, taking the mask off, understanding that it's a process like everything else, right? Sometimes it takes time. Some of us were raised in environments where we created certain masks to keep ourselves safe, right? And so this idea of letting go of that mask and being vulnerable is a really frightening idea. So it's a process. Again, it's back to what you were just saying,
Yeah.
being willing to at least explore what might be going
Yeah.
on there. But it's a process like everything else.
And you know, it's good to set some boundaries for yourself, right? So you don't get caught up in a lot of this kind of stuff. If you have some good boundaries around you, how many know that it will keep you out of a lot of trouble?
Mm-hmm.
So when you say yes, you mean it. If you say no, you mean it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are boundaries. If you say yes, I follow through. If I say no, I follow through. Because no will save you a lot of money, right? And no will help you to keep some boundaries around yourself so that you're not obligating yourself to things that really aren't as important. You're not prioritizing your life, right? There are certain things that are more important than others. True? So you need to make a list. What's really important? Write it down. This is my priority list. And then prioritize that. And then if it doesn't fit within the overall theme of your life, then you say, well, no, thank you. Let your no be no, the Bible says, and let your yes be yes. That's your scripture quote for today. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Yeah. And mean it. And set those boundaries. Now, it doesn't mean that there are times when you don't change your mind. I mean, that's okay, right? But you give yourself permission to change your mind about certain things. Mm-hmm. But it's what we're talking about is always constantly giving away so much of yourself that you're exhausted, that you're not able to be your true self. You become this other version of you. This zombie that's just following around doing what everybody says, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to try this, you need to go over here. I think that your purpose is this. And you go, oh, okay. How many know that it's really up to you? Mm-hmm. Right? So set up your yeses. Make your yeses sacred. Yes is sacred. Yes. And your no's are sacred. Mm-hmm. True? And you'll find that your life will begin to take a better shape. Because I know for a long time I was a people pleaser. That's why many times ministers go into the ministry, is because they are rescuers. They want to rescue people, you know. And they're people pleasers, you know. And so it's like, we try to do things because we wanted the people to like us.
And they're one of the top professions for burnout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're always
Because they don't know how to say no.
people pleasing,
Because
saving people.
You have to learn, right? We have to learn how to say no. Because when you can do that and you create those boundaries, because you got to do it for you. True? Now, doesn't mean that you're not available, that you're not there, that you're not going with the flow, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It just means that you honor your own sacred self. Right? You honor your own true, natural, sacred self. If you can do that, other people will do that. You ever walk into a room and you're with someone and they just command your respect? You can't help it. Yeah. You know, different people. You know, they have a presence about them. And that presence evolves and grows within us as we become stronger within ourselves. And we become more of our true selves. And we begin to discover what we really enjoy. You know, it's like you ask people, well, you know, what do you like to do? No, I don't know, just whatever. How many know that's not an answer?
Are you talking about me with that one?
No, well, sometimes we go through that.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to go out to a restaurant. Where do you want to go? I don't know, whatever.
I don't care.
Where do you want to go? I don't know, whatever.
Whatever is it.
And somebody has to make a decision. Here we are in the car. And we're headed somewhere. We just don't know where.
And then I'll go,
All we know is that we're hungry.
and then I'll go, where are we going? He goes, I don't know.
And here's what I've discovered. If I come up with something
Now, wait a
and
minute.
she doesn't like it,
Now, wait a minute.
then she will tell me what she wants to do.
I knew where you were going with that.
We all do that, don't we? And somebody says, well, okay, how about if we do? Oh, no, not that. Anything but that. Well, how about this? No, we can't go there either. Right? Isn't it true? Let's say it together. We're kind of weird sometimes.
Okay, we've given away way too much of our personal time together here this morning.
We're being true, our true, authentic
Oh, if people
selves.
could only be flies on the wall, right? Yeah, that's or in the car. That's yeah.
So say yes to living fully. Say yes to joy. Say yes to love. Say yes to peace of mind.
Yes.
Say yes to meditation and quiet. Say yes to prayer. Say yes to the people that you love. Right? Say yes to those things and say no to things that tear you down, that take away your energy, that rob from you, that steal from you, that take from you. How many know you deserve to be happy? If you're happy, then you're vibing. And if you're vibing, your frequency is changing the world. How about that? All right.
Oh, look.
All
They're
right.
listening. They're listening. So we talked about the werewolf of
Yeah.
anger.
Yeah.
So you were just mentioning a few moments ago about awareness and how important that is. And you know, awareness is one of the things that helps tame that werewolf, right? Because when we become aware of what's going on in every moment, I have had many times in my past where I am completely involved in something and consumed by it before I realize what's going on, right? If I live in a state of awareness, if I can train myself to be aware, then the moment that it starts, I can go, oh, I know what this is. I know how to work with this. I know what to do about this.
And that makes her an aware wolf. Rather than an unaware wolf, right?
That's right.
So which wolf are you?
That's right. That's right.
I am free to be me, unmasked and unafraid. I am
Yeah.
free to be me, unmasked and unafraid. Does that feel good?
Feels good.
Say with me. We step into our lives unveiled,
We step into our lives unveiled,
shining with authenticity.
shining with authenticity.
Wow. Tell the person next to you, say, you shine. Yeah.
Okay, and your handout is on the back table if you want one this morning. And just as a closing thought too, some positive psychology insight. Authenticity is one of the strongest predictors of well-being. Research shows people who live congruently with their values experience lower stress, higher self-esteem, and greater life satisfaction. Good to know.
Just breathe for a moment. Let yourself breathe freely and clear. Just imagine that all the masks are laying down at your feet, stripped away. And right here, right now, it's just you. It's just you and God, Spirit. It's all grace. It's all kindness, peace, forgiveness. Letting it all fall away. being your true, natural self. You can make that a priority if you like, to be true, to live in honesty, vulnerability, to be unafraid, to live with clarity and boldness without fear. Just breathe that in for a moment. There's something in your life you've been dealing with. And sometimes to hold on to the mask, we tape it up, we try to repair the mask, to make the mask better. But the highest and best is just to let go of the mask. Realize it's not who you are. Something maybe you picked up along the way. We're praying showers of grace, showers of love and peace for you today. Showers of blessings, showers of healing. You are meant to shine because you are the light. What does the light do? It shines. How would it feel to walk through your life without fear? To be natural. Maybe take some lessons from your dog, your cat. They know what's up. Take the dog out for a walk, and he's sniffing everything. Fire hydrant, people walking by, because he doesn't want to miss anything. He understands that it's all a sacred gift. Notices the energy everywhere and everything. Wow. We can learn something from our dogs, can't we? From our pets. We can learn from each other too. Sometimes you look around at people and you notice a positive trait. You say, wow, I'm so thankful that I can see that beautiful trait in that person. Maybe I could use some of that. I could be more like that. Design your life. Set the boundaries. Make your priorities. And live as true as you can. Sometimes you'll fall down, you'll go back to what you did before, but don't let that stop you. Get right back up. Keep moving forward. Because you are the sacred. You are the beautiful Christ in physical form. That's who you are. Let's breathe. And now, if there's someone on your heart this morning that you want to pray for, somebody maybe that's experiencing some physical challenges, emotional challenges, or maybe there's a situation going on that just seems like it's impossible, don't know what to do. Take a moment now and begin to pray showers of grace, Envision showers, rain showers of grace, compassion, and love. When the rain comes, it washes away so much that is no longer needed. It blesses, it nurtures the plants, it feeds them. Visualize those showers upon those people in your life. Extend them love and kindness right here, right now. I love you. I bless you. I behold you as your true, authentic self. Let's make space for each other. Can we do that? Give room for each other to make some mistakes. We call them mistakes. They're not really mistakes. They're just another opportunity to learn something new. Yeah. That's how you turn a negative into a positive. And just keep turning those negatives into positive every day. Because everything is for your benefit. I know that's hard sometimes because I know some are going through some really tough times right now. People in your life, maybe they're really challenging you. A lot of people are concerned about a lot of things right now. So let's give it all over to Spirit in this moment. And just see those showers of blessings. Hold that vision. I invite you into the stillness for just a moment. And so we say thank you. In gratitude for all that we are learning and all the ways that we are changing. We give thanks. So it is. Amen. All right, we're going to turn those lights back on slowly. Opening those eyes. Feeling alert, feeling awake.